So welcome to the Mike and Ike Show, episode 1. You can really hear my staff in there making an awful lot of noise. Yeah. Boy, listen to it in there. Listen to it. They're making an awful lot of noise. They're making like an awful lot of noise. They're making an awful lot of noise in there, bro. They're making an awful lot of noise, bro. Yeah, the other day they were making a lot of noise. In the past, they've made an awful lot of noise, but never this much noise in a while. Never this much noise in a while. Never this much noise in a while. Like, I'm really gonna have to, if I want to avoid, any confrontations, gonna have to really think about, have to weigh my options. Anyway, I can't go off because going off won't get me anywhere. I can't go off because going off won't get me anywhere. And I can't go off because if I go off, how the hell am I going to survive the next few months? And all I know is, all I can say is, from what I know about that current geopolitical state of the world, I just can't compromise with anybody. No one wants to compromise with me, and I can't compromise with anybody else. It's like I can't compromise with me. No, I can't compromise with it. No one will compromise with me, and no one will compromise with anybody else. No one will compromise with me, and I can't compromise with anybody else. So, it's as simple as like, I can't compromise with anyone because no one will compromise with me. It's like, every time I try to do something around here, like I can't even do anything around here. Cause like it's like every time I try to get something done around here, I know what happens. Someone always ends up coming too loud or too unpredictable. And I get caught in the middle of it. But at least someone from the state came today. And at least I saw the psych doctor today. And at least the good thing is I saw the psych doctor today, and at least the only one they're taking me off is the Cymbalta. And you have these communities of people who have, who have no sense of direction whatsoever. Have no sense of direction whatsoever. And I feel like right now I'm the only one who has any sense of direction. And I feel like I'm the only one who has any real sense of direction around here. No one else can even comprehend no one else can even comprehend just how much pain and suffering I've actually been through. Like, the amount of pain and suffering I've been through is extensive. I mean, you just have to listen. You have to really know your. You have to really know your magic to work at a place like Rescue. And as you can see, as you can hear out there, my house manager and his boss are making like a ton of noise. And, man, I gotta tell you, I get unnerved at times myself. Like, I get unnerved myself. I get unnerved at times myself. Like, it unnerves me at times. But, like, I'm already just trembling thinking about it. Like, the only question is why can't the cops do something about it? Like, why can't the neighbors just call the cops? Why can't the people next door have the cops come deal with it? Why can't someone just, why can't the state, investigate the staff at this group home for being unruly and unpredictable when it comes to the amount of noise they make. But, you have these people you have these group home staff that make all this noise, and the cops don't want it gets so bad that the local law enforcement doesn't want to have anything to do with it, because they get so many calls from the neighbors that the local law enforcement doesn't want to have anything to do with it, because and it's like you'll get these instances where the neighbors call it in to the 911 dispatcher, and they say, hey, there's some loud, unruly, obnoxious people out here. The law enforcement officers come out here and they say, they do a welfare check, and then they just tell the neighbors, hey, they're just doing whatever. It's just what they do, and then they just take off and leave. They don't issue a disorderly conduct citation. They don't issue a noise complaint citation, even though it's technically required by that state's penal code. Technically, it's in that state's penal code for that law enforcement officer to issue a noise complaint citation. Because technically, under the Texas Penal Code, if someone calls, if a neighbor, like say in this neighborhood, if a neighbor calls in to the local police, to the local law enforcement about someone making a noise complaint, and it happens repeatedly, the law enforcement officers are required by that state's penal code to issue a noise complaint citation. There are no exceptions. And I, personally think the Denton Police Department should be issuing the staff at this group home a noise complaint, a disorderly conduct citation for being for being loud and unruly. Especially when people are trying to when the neighbors around here in the late afternoon and early evening are trying to have family time. So, I'm not saying that it's okay for the staff at this group home to be loud enough to where the neighbors are constantly calling the cops saying, "Hey, there's some loud unruly people here who are not being who are disturbing us when we're having family time." I'm just saying, if people at this group home were my neighbors, I would be calling the police. I would be calling the law on them and I would be asking the police to issue them a disorderly conduct citation. I would be asking the 911, the police, the responding law enforcement officers to issue that staff at this group home a disorderly conduct citation. I would want to press charges. Especially say if I had roommates, if I had some roommates, if I was living on my own and I had roommates, and me and those roommates and myself and those roommates say we're trying to eat dinner or have personal time. I would not want some out of control, a bunch of people who are just out of control, screaming, yelling, going ballistic and just being out of control, going completely flying off the hook, who are just flying off the hook and screaming and yelling and just going completely wackadoodle. I would not want those kind of people as my neighbors. In fact, I would file a complaint not only with the Denton Police Department. I would also file a complaint with the Texas Department of Public Safety, as well as the City of Denton. And I would ask the City of Denton to possibly consider. I would also ask the Denton County Court System to possibly consider having those people evicted from their home, just in case they were convicted felons and possibly had, just in case those people had in case they had firearms or other weapons in their possession that were especially if they were mentally unstable and were self-medicating with illicit substances, for example. Because for me, I'd just rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather be safe than sorry. It's not to say that someone like that would do something like that, but I'm just saying if something like that did happen, I would want to make sure those people are in the right state of mind, and not just and I would want to make sure I would just ask the police to do a welfare check. I would ask the police to do a welfare check and make sure that whoever it is in the right state of mind, and not. I would just, for the most part, I would just ask the police, hey, can you do a welfare check on these people and make sure they're in the right state of mind? So, that's the best thing I would ask the police to do is, hey, can you guys do a welfare check on these people, make sure they're they're okay and in the right state of mind and not just completely crazy. So, you know, so, you know, it's like, I mean, I'm not saying it's like, complete, but if it is something serious, then I would want the police to do regular checkups on my neighbors just to make sure they were okay. Not that like it would be like that these people were like spinning out of control. Not that they were spinning out of control and just completely flying off the hook every day, and just completely or just their heads were completely exploding every day, and just completely just losing their shit. I mean, I've lost my shit before, but never to the point that I've, but like, I've had, but like, but mainly I just want to make sure whoever it is safe and not completely just flying off the hook. So, I'm just trying to make sure that the people in this group home are safe from anything that's just like completely out of control, because if I saw something that wasn't normal, I would say something.